Okay, great. Hi, this is Ellen Wanjiru with Blackfilm.com, and I'm joined by Tressa Azarel Smallwood and KJ Smith. Thank you so much to both of you for joining you. How are you?
Fantastic.
We're
Thank you
great.
so much for having us.
Tressa, it's good to see you again. KJ, nice to meet you. Love you and Tyler Perry sisters.
Thank you.
And now in The Available Wife.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to start the conversation about The Available Wife, which is premiering in the online edition of the American Black Film Festival going on right now. Congratulations, Tressa.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Listen, we are so excited. I think KJ and I have been talking about this forever, saying we cannot wait for people to see this movie.
And now I understand why. So how does it feel to be back at ABFF after winning Best Feature last year for All In?
Amazing, amazing. Nicole and Jeff Friday, I just said to them the other day, I was like, you don't understand what you're doing for the African American community when it comes to film and TV, just giving people opportunity. Because, every time they give a platform like this, people see us that, have no idea what we do, how we do it. And then, they just level us up. So I'm grateful.
And so are we as the viewers. I know this was a book to film project, and it was a book written by Carla Pennington. What drew you to the story enough to want to make it into a film?
I think for me, when you think about a book, typically the characters have to resonate enough that you can say to yourself, off the page, this is going to work. This is going to, get people to the screen. And I think when I think about Nicole in general, her personality was just something that was magnetic. It doesn't matter whether you loved her, whether you hated her. You, at the end of the day, you were like, wow, this was amazing. Like, such a three-dimensional character. And KJ, she just slayed it. I mean, when I look at it now, I say to myself, I don't know anybody else who could have played this role like KJ did. It was just the best.
And actually, that's a great segue to my next question. When it came to selecting the perfect leading lady, did you always know it would be KJ Smith?
No, listen, Jamal Hill, our director, he has a friend who, Sean, he was the one who brought KJ to our attention. And typically I will always lean towards what my directors think. I know he had a few people on the table. And so when I saw KJ and he said, this is our girl, I looked at it and I was like, she's definitely our girl. Let's do it.
And so KJ, what intrigued you about the story and Nicole's character?
Well, when I received the script, I was asked to be the best friend, and I was like, sure, I'm in. Like, let's do it. Like, let's do it. And then shortly after, I received a call, and they were like, oh no, we want you to play Nicole. And I was like, I got nervous at first because Nicole is a character that I feel like people are gonna love to hate. And I've never been that character before. So for me, I was like, wait, like she may not be liked. Like what? People may not like her. What do I do? She makes bad choices. And I was really nervous. And I reread it. I read it a couple times before I even responded. And I was like, absolutely, I can absolutely do this. It was challenging. I had to find the moments that I could relate to her. I had to find, and the scary part was I could relate to her in so many ways. And that was the scariest part of it, because I initially judged her and I'm like, hold up, we have a lot in common that I didn't want to admit to. So that's great.
And a great segue to my next question. I love this. How challenging or effortless was it to portray such a driven yet blemished character? Like, if you could balance out, what helped you the most, what would you say that was?
I think for me, what helped me the most was stripping myself of judgments and relating to this woman who had to do what she felt like she had to do to accomplish a goal. And that bare bones fact was me all day. That's me. I had to move cross country away from my family. I had to make sacrifices. I had to, make hard choices in life. And the bare bones, KJ Smith and Nicole, is spot on. We are just alike. And in the bare bones, when you just look at that. And so when I did that, I was like, let's go. It was like, let's go. I had no other hesitations. I had no other doubts. I was ready to bring her to life because I had to compare her career in music to my career in film and television. Because if anyone challenges my career in film and television,
right.
Oh, we're going to war. It's war. I'm going to make these choices too. Yeah. We're going to war. And when I made that decision to literally put myself in her shoes, it was easy. I was like, let's go.
Yeah. And never miss the beat, KJ. Let me just add to that. On set, you never missed a beat. You were always ready. And the director was always pleased with you. And that's a hard task for any actor, bottom line. There are times when you got to go back to the table, but you always brought it every time.
Thank you.
It's such a relatable character on so many levels. That I think women watching that will be able to see themselves in bits and pieces of it. And that's what I love. One of the many things I love about film. And so, KJ, you're also one of the producers on the film. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
At which point did you decide to get involved as a producer?
I was asked. And I love Tressa for that. I consider her my mentor. It was an honor. I call Tressa all the time, like literally all the time, because she has led the way in film and television for women producers. And I couldn't think of a better person to be my mentor and to learn from in this industry. So yes, I was like, yes, teach me. Let's do this. And in that regard, I had to learn. It was like being a baby. So that I couldn't say, let's go. I was like, okay, how do I do? Okay, what do I do? How do I help? What does that mean? What do these words mean? So for that, in that regard, on that end, I was a toddler.
And she did very well with that as well, because the reality is, when you're the number one on the call sheet, your energy, your vibes, that's everything. And so one of the things that she did was she made sure that everything that she represented and everything that everybody else followed. When her energy was always great, which meant the talent, they were great. And KJ, look, it's funny that we're talking about this, because I'm on set now and I'm saying, where's my KJ? Like, we gave out gifts. We had, it's Friday, KJ. So you know how we do on Friday, right? Yes. And now today we're over here taking COVID tests. I'm like, what a different time.
Oh, right. A year.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of value in seeing Black female actors in front of the screen and filmmakers as well as behind the screen. So KJ, really quickly, is that a goal of yours to get more involved in the future? Do you
100%. 100%. Yeah. I have done countless roles, and this was the first time I actually felt like my voice, I could come to the people who hired me and have decisions be made, because I came to them and said, hey, this is how I feel. This is how I feel like this would help, and just have those conversations. And it just feels really good to feel a part. And, you get that little taste and you're like, oh, wait, I can actually help make decisions. I can actually help add value to the overall project. And feeling that I felt empowered. I feel empowered in this film. And, I'm so grateful for the whole Megaminds team. It's a family affair over there. And I'm a Southern country girl. I am all about family. I am all about it. So I have since produced my own projects. I've been inspired to produce my own projects, and I want to continue to do that. And I'm not even on the camera. Like, I produce my own project completely behind the camera, executive produce. And yes, so it is my next goal to be like my mentor and to just keep producing content that helps Black people, that tells Black stories, that tells the world stories.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
That's great. That's exciting news. What I enjoyed most about this film was the reversal of traditional male-female roles, like within the home and professionally. It's not the norm to sympathize with a stay-at-home dad/husband. And we don't see a lot of films with women at the head of companies delegating and barking out orders. These stories are sort of told from the male perspective. So, Tressa, how much intention went into that development?
Yeah, so I can tell you this: the majority of the books at Life Changing Books, obviously, I have some say in the development of these projects. I'm a strong Black woman. I'm married. I've been married for 23 years, but I definitely run my stuff, right? And so a lot of the projects you're going to see that women are in strong leadership roles. We're going to look good. We're going to dress good, and no matter what happens in the movie, because obviously characters have to, evolve. But at the end of the day, we're going to always look amazing. And so it was very important in Available Wife to make sure that, she represented. Like, did you see those clothes?
I did. They were every outfit. I was like, oh, I want that. I like that. She was good. Yeah. The detail.
That's important to me. That's important to me. And you'll probably see that in a lot of the movies that I produce, where I want women to be portrayed in a great way.
And by the way, KJ, you looked amazing in everything you had on.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's Tam. That's Tam. She's the stylist.
KJ, and listen, KJ has her fan club over here at Megamind. They were all like getting ready to come in here just for the interview just now. They're like, KJ,
I gotta call y'all afterwards.
Yes.
And so, KJ, how did that intention, the intention to kind of show women at the forefront of home, how did that impact what you brought to the screen?
I think, and no one knows this, but when we were filming this film, I was not in the place I am now. I was certainly not where I am now. And this was like my biggest pay ever on a film. And, me and my castmate, Terrell, we were like, oh my gosh, like, are we here? Like, is this real? And they picked us up in this luxury van limo thing. I don't even know what it's called, Tressa. It's a Sprinter, okay? But it's like got the TVs. And they were like, you are a boss. You are a millionaire. You have to feel like it. It was like, and I felt like it. That was a part of, and I learned so much in doing this film, but that was a part of embodying the character. I mean, the first time they picked me up, I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, what is this? And by the end of the week, I'm like, that's right. You start to feel it. You start to get into it. And so, they really did an amazing job of helping me embody the character. Tam had racks of clothes that everything fit. Everything was amazing. Everything was, and if it didn't, it was tailored to perfection so that it would. And those are the luxuries that I had not experienced previously in my personal life. So that wasn't my reality. And I didn't have an understanding of like, oh, wow, this is a millionaire's lifestyle. So even to my knowledge, if I would have tried to play it with my own life experience, it wouldn't have been true to Nicole's experience because she's used to private jets. She's used to being picked up in a Sprinter. So the way that the Megaminds and Tressa and the whole team, presented this lifestyle to me, KJ the person on a platter, I was able to get into character as Nicole. I'm just forever grateful, because I wouldn't have been able to do it had Tressa not made those calls and made me feel that way and have an understanding of what that looks like.
Wow.
Oh, I'm
And
laughing.
so the main character in Carla Pennington's book, Nicole, she is wicked and toxic. How much of that character was pulled into the film?
Yeah, we had to tone her down a lot, and that was Jamal Hill. So one thing about Jamal and I, we're like true brothers and sisters. And he kept telling me, Tress, we have to tone Nicole down. Nobody's going to like her. He was like, change that, because I wrote the script initially, and when I got ready to put it into production, I called him, and he said, well, you know how we do. We never agree. He's like, I want to be a co-writer. Can I go in and tweak it and make Nicole more likable? And I was like, yeah, here you go, have at it. He sent it back to me, and I was like, you toned her down too much. And so I was like, no, a woman would say this. And he was like, nah, but a man wouldn't go for that. I was like, but it's our story right now. It's Nicole's story.
Right.
So we would go back and forth until we finally reached an agreement. And then even when KJ came on, KJ, I know that there were moments when you read the script and you were like, can we change this a little bit, or can we tweak that? So it's a collaborative effort. And I think that's why the movie is so great.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting to have a man say that it needs to be toned down because she won't be the same way. Oop, did we lose her? I think we lost her. So, okay. In regards to how, Nicole came across on screen, how was it for you, kind of playing the, for lack of a better version of Nicole?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
How was it for you playing the version of Nicole that maybe not a lot of people took to?
How was it for me playing that?
Yeah.
It's fun because, I am a genuine person. I try to be as authentic as possible. And Nicole has characteristics that are completely opposite of me. She has, she is fine with manipulation. She's fine with lying. She's fine with deceit. She's fine with lies. So it's like, I said lies already, but it's fun because one, the villain is always more interesting to me. and two, the villain never knows that they're a villain. So I just played it as though I'm not doing anything wrong. It's none of your business. That's why I didn't tell you. It's my money. I deserve it. I earned this. I work for this. And it's mine.
Right.
I don't care that you think it's yours. It's mine now. So that's how I played it. I played it as though I don't have any issues. I'm not the problem. You're the problem.
And that's how a man would approach it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That is a man thing if I ever heard it. And it felt great.
Yes.
It felt great for once in life to not care about what people think, to not care if somebody calls me a bitch, to not care about everybody but myself, to not be people's superwoman.
As women, we struggle with that on a day-to-day basis. So to see a character that's liberated in that way, I was like, Nicole is insane, but you do your thing, girl. You do what you got to do.
Nicole liberated me as a person because I was like, hold up. She has boundaries. She can say no. She doesn't. She's not with the SHIT.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. And I was like, hold on. I got a little bit of that in me. I could do that. And so what? Exactly. I don't care. So it actually helped free me of a lot of my preconceived notions about what it means to be a woman.
Here. And that scene in the bathroom when Nicole is crying and at that point, she decides, like, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do to get what I got to get. That scene was so pivotal because everything changed after that. And then the music, the Rihanna song in the background, that was perfect. That was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And Tressa, before we lost you really quickly, I was talking about the fact that it's a man that said it needs to be toned down because people won't like Nicole. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think too, also just, you know, in film period, you typically want, you know, your character has to have some likable traits, right? So you
Sure.
can just think about even in Scarface, you know, Tony Montana, right? Even though he was killing all these people, there were still likable moments about him, right? And so you were like, oh, I really like him, but then you like, oh, but wait a minute, he just killed all these people. So you just have to find those moments. And for Jamal, he just kept saying there's certain things that a man is not going to take from a woman. So let's just tone her down a bit. Now, when people read the book, I'm telling you, you'll say, oh my goodness, Nicole was toned down. You know, but people watch the movie and they say, oh, she was a piece of work. Right. But go and read the book and you will say, what really happened here?
The Available Wife was filmed in DC. And I am starting to feel hopeful DC will be seen as the Mecca for film. Fingers and toes crossed, especially Black film. Has that always been your goal for Megamind?
You know what? Not initially. I think when I first started out, I remember lots of people saying, hey, you should come to LA, you should come to Atlanta. And I kept saying, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm just starting out. I'm a baby in the business. I want to do something close to home. One of the things is that I want all of my films to kind of have a certain look. I want to show Black folk doing good, looking good. And, you know, what better place to do that in the DMV where you have, for example, Prince George's County, which has the most affluent rankings for African-American people, period. Right. So we can do that here. So why leave to go to LA? Why leave to go to Atlanta when we can do it here and bring them here and just show them a good time and make them feel good when they come here?
And that matters. And that matters. So just to start to wrap this up, once I watched the movie, I walked away feeling like I wanted more. Like there was something else that I should be waiting for.
There it is.
My question is, will there be a sequel? Will there be a series? Like, what? Tell us something. I'm hoping there's something.
So I told KJ that we want to do a series called Cold Records, which is basically, you know, Nicole comes back, she gets her company back. You know, we don't want to give Empire, right? Because that's the first thing people would think, like, oh, she's coming back. But people want more of Nicole. So we want Cold Records. We want to be able to talk about a lot of the women's issues that happen. And I have a lot of people interested right now. So, you know, you never know.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially, I really enjoyed Terrell Hill's rap.
Yes.
It was really, really good. Like lyrically, it was dope. The music was good. So, you know, should Cold Records come out with a series, it would be really fun to see like music developed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, ladies. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for talking to Blackfilm. I'm looking forward to many more from both of you. And I hope I see you guys again soon.
Yes. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. Bye. That was great. Bye, Tressa.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.